Hey YouTube, I'm going to do a review of what's in my toolbox since everybody's doing, what's in their toolbox videos. And basically I'm not like a major mechanic. I do more home improvement, contracting, and other types of contractors work. But I do work on my own vehicle. But this is my shop too. Basically, I got my bench vise. I got a bench here. Some power connected to it. Here's one of my toolboxes full of tools here. Basically, I got all kinds of mostly woodworking tools. Some tin snips in there. Some putty knives in there. Some chisels in there. My first DeWalt tape measure, it actually still works. It's all beat up. 7 years old. Some staples, a file, Husky hammer, square. This is just one I basically just keep in my shop. Then I have this little dusty toolbox here. But this is all, it's kind of a mess in here, but this is what I use for, I don't know, doing electrical work. Doing so I got all my little jumper wires and stuff in there, and roller wire in there. That's that little toolbox I keep in my shop. It's an old toolbox. That one's probably about 7, maybe even 10 years old. That one's about 10 years old probably. But that's stuff I just use for like working on cars, wiring and radios and stuff like that. But let's go to the toolbox here. In my toolbox, I got my Husky, my Allen keys. I got the Husky, what is this, an 8-piece? Husky 8-piece screwdriver set. I got this Cobalt ratcheting wrench. I'm going to show this real quick because some people were asking about that wrench recently, so I'm gonna show people. How this. Excuse the mess up camera. I'm holding my phone in my hand. But what you do with this wrench is you click this button. It opens the jaws. Okay. Now you squeeze this lever like so till you got it to the right side. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Now, if you watch the gears, once you get this pretty tight on your bolt there, it actually does work. But what this is supposed to do, is you're not supposed to put this really, really tight on your fastener. You're supposed to just put it so it barely grabs. And then what it does is, once you, let me lower this bolt. Alright, get that bolt right there, basically, because that's how a bolt would be anyway. So, now what you do with this is you tighten like this. As you can see, that bolt is in my, but this ratchets as you go this way. It ratchets to the next. Those little jaws move. Let me try to get these jaws here. Here. Now watch the jaws. I don't know if you could see it that good, but the jaws ratchet, in other words. And then it grabs the next side. So you turn it, here we go. You turn it like this. And then grab. You can hear the click. Sometimes you can hear the click, but that's how that works anyways. Okay, So we'll move on to the next. I got my Torx. Sockets in here. Working on my brakes and stuff. I got another set here of Torx. I think these are Torx and Allen keys. This is just like a little cheap set. I mean, they're pretty thick and durable, but they have you have two adapters for these. One for a 1/2-inch ratchet, and basically, I'm sure you know how these work. You just stick that in there like so, one-handed there, and then as you can see, I could do it. And then this is a 3/8 one, same thing. That goes in there, but I got multiple different sizes, like 3 in each one, except for this one. These are actually rusty because this basement has a ton of freaking moisture. I never even used those yet, but anything like this, which that little bit of just like surface rust, but as you can see, there's a bunch of Torx in here and a bunch of Allen keys. Alright, so that's that. Then I have these, which I tell people don't use. Okay, this was a Stanley. These are just cheap Stanley sockets. I don't know. I think I paid like 25 bucks for the ratchet. I already broke the ratchet. Here's the ratchet. I used this Stanley ratchet one time, and I broke the freaking piece inside of there. But I found out that Stanley is actually lifetime warranty on these. So I'm gonna actually find my receipt and bring that back to Walmart. But as I was saying, don't use these sockets, okay? Because these are thin wall sockets. Let me find one here that's gonna fit on that bolt. They call these universal. Here it is. But if you see this is a universal socket. Look at how much play is in there. Now this is a 19 millimeter. So it fits on that. I mean, it fits pretty tight, but there's a lot of play in there. And if you look at these little, the little teeth in there, the way those are shaped. Let me get a little close up here. Those little teeth in there, they don't grab good at all. They're kind of like a 12-point socket. I think they suck. I tried to use those one time on a bolt on my, actually I had to get the new bolt for my oil pan. I went to do an oil change, and I tried to use one of these sockets, and the freaking thing stripped out my freaking oil pan, my drain plug for my oil pan, so I don't use those anymore. I also have, this is my first drawer. Well, you'll see I have the brake tool. I have a brake tool here also, a universal one. You put that on a 3/8 ratchet, and you could the brake calipers that spin. I'm sure mechanics seen these before, but I did a couple of brake jobs on Volkswagens, and a couple of Hondas, and this actually worked for both jobs. And I got my Milwaukee, I think I showed this in one video, my Milwaukee razor knife. Of course, everybody has one of these. Crescent wrench, adjustable wrench. I got a pair of needle nose, which these broke at one time. Let me bring this to the light. These actually broke one time. I snapped the ends off of these. So I just took a freaking angle grinder, and I made them pointy again. Fixed them. They work. They still work. Alright, so now I'm going to move down to my next drawer, which is all my 1/4 inch. Now all these little miscellaneous sockets back there are, I don't know, just sockets I've collected over the years. Then I have these back here, this little set. I forgot where I picked this up, but this is like a little gripper set of sockets for when you have stripped nuts and bolts and stuff like that. Let me try to pop one of these out here. I think I said something about these in my other video, but you could see inside of there they have grooves inside there, so it grabs. They grab rounded off sockets. Those are pretty good set. Then I have these sockets here. And what's awesome about these sockets here, let me bring these over here and place these down. I'm going to show you guys something. Okay, so here's a standard regular old ratchet and with a socket on it. Okay, notice the height of that. Now I'm going to grab another ratchet. This ratchet's a little bit, as you guys can see here, let me go down here. That ratchet's a little bit skinnier there than the other one, but there's a 1/2 inch socket here. So if you're in a really tight place, as you can see here, if you're in a really tight place, I mean, these friggin' sockets are awesome. Okay, what's even better about that is, another thing I want to show you about these sockets, I think it's 11 millimeter. Alright, so I got 11 millimeter Husky gear wrench, ratcheting wrench, whatever. Now you could take this socket and you could put that socket in a it doesn't stay in there very well, but of course it's going to keep falling out. But you put this socket in here anyway, and once you get it on the bolt, as you can see, now here's the difference. Look at that, how skinny that socket is. So this here on the wrench, as long as you could get it in there, I would suggest putting this socket on your bolt first that you're trying to get loose. Put this on the bolt first so it's stuck on there, and then put your wrench on there, and you got like such a skinny, like this if you can see it, look at this sideways. I'm gonna pop that socket off of there. Oh, almost rolled away. But look at how flat that is and how compact that is now. So I mean, if you want to get in the tightest of spaces, this friggin' thing is almost as thin with the socket in a wrench. You know, I guess you could use these with any wrench. You don't necessarily have to use them in a ratcheting wrench, but you get quicker results, as you know, with a ratcheting wrench. So that's those little sockets I have. And there's a whole little set of them. I'd like to find these in other sizes too, but I don't know. I gotta look and see if I can find them. Okay, that's that. I have my pass-through Husky wrench here. As everybody knows what these are. If you've seen these before, these sockets here got a big hole through them. So you pop this socket in a wrench, and now you can see the light through there. So this will go over the top of a bolt, a long bolt, and come out the other side. But again, this is a universal socket. As you can see, it's got like squared teeth inside of here. So not recommended for, if the bolt is on there really tight, do not use this because you'll strip it out. You'll strip the nuts and bolts out with that. But it's handy. And then it comes with an extension too. As you can see, the hole through there. So that's a pass-through socket set. Also, it has this little adapter that you could use 1/4-inch bits, any 1/4-inch bit. So hold on here. There you go. So see, you could take a Phillips head bit. Now you can put that in your ratchet, and now you got a, which Will I ever do that? I highly doubt it. Because I have, as you can see, what I just picked up, I have this tiny little ratchet right here. Now this thing is, here's regular size ratchet here. Here's a full size ratchet. And here's these little mini ones. These little mini ratchets are awesome. This is actually a 1/4 inch one. So you stick a 1/4 inch bit, but as you see, I have like bit adapters. These are 1/4 inch too. So you could stick these inside of this wrench if you had to get, if you needed a, to get in a hard spot. And I also have the little, here's the little 1/4 inch one. And I forgot where I got these so long ago. I don't know, I got these a couple of years ago, but that's half the size of a regular ratchet. So that's my top drawer, my 1/4 inch ratchets, and then I have another chrome. That's a Stanley, another Stanley set there. Then I got all my sockets, the long sockets, my shallow sockets, and a bunch of cheapo sockets in there. And I have the Cobalt swivel socket, ratchet. Oh. And no, I don't have no, what do you call it yet? And as you can see, it's a pain in the ass. Slide that socket over. That's why I have all these little sockets here. These extra little sockets to hold these in place. Then I got them a couple of wobble extensions for my 1/4 inch, little small extension. Oh, this is also another bit. This is another bit adapter. I just got them all, as you can see. I got them all plugged together. But this is same thing. 1/4 inch ratchet drive to 1/4 inch to a 1/4 inch bit adapter or whatever. So that's another one of my little, oh damn, that thing's, did I put it in the right spot? Yeah. Okay. Then I have another, a little, I don't even know what size this is, but there's something, one of my tools that have an adjustment on it, and this is the little socket I need to adjust that tool once in a while. So that I keep in there. Let me fix this up now. Then I just have random bits. Actually, these bits came with the Husky pass-through wrench. Alright, so that's my first drawer. Oh, and I have these bits here that are in here. And these bits are for an impact screwdriver, which is not in my, excuse me. It's not in here. The impact screwdriver, I have it in one of my tool bags because I use it at work for when I'm working on doors or something on a house or an apartment and people paint the friggin' screws. I can't get them out and they strip my bits. So that's what I use, that impact driver. You hit it with a hammer and then it just bangs right through I bang it right through the painted screw heads and then take the screws out. Now, oh, wait a minute. I don't want to lose track of these here. Okay, that's where that was. That wrench goes there. And these are all Husky, This was a $99 just socket set Husky that I bought. So I have you have 6 points, mostly 12 points. I don't really like 12 points unless I'm doing something really light duty. So I like 6 points, but I got all the small 1/4 inch deep sockets and 6 point, and then I got, like I said, I got a bunch of standard and metric 12-point ones. Now I'll go down to my 3/8. This is my 3/8. These are all my 3/8 sockets, adapter. Here's another one of these power torques. It's a hand spinner. You put your socket on there. But this one actually, you could, it's pretty tight. Oh, I dropped it. It's hard to do this shit with one hand holding my phone, but anyways. Here, come on. Anyways, you could use it like that, as long as the socket's not too wide, and you could, it moves all around. So you really don't even have to change the way the rotation it spins. You could just flip it over in there. And then I got my, what is this? This is a cheap, I forgot what kind of ratchet this is. I don't know, but it works real good. You can see all the, you can see, probably see all the grease in there. I actually just took all these ratchets apart just to make sure they were greased them all up inside. So I got my 3/8 regular 3/8 ratchet. Get that out of the way. I have these sockets, and these aren't that great. Don't buy them, because let's see, is this the broken one? No, but these are supposed to grab strip nuts and bolts. But I'm telling you now, if there's these little teeth things in here are so friggin' cheap. If the bolt is too tight or rusted on there, where is it? See this one. As a matter of fact, this I got when I was trying to take out the screw to my oil pan too, the plug, and I bought this first, and I freaking snapped it first try. Then I had to go get a then I actually went and bought a, which I don't even have here because I left them at my friend's house, but I have these Irwin ones. Here's a 3/8 swivel head ratchet. Of course, everybody knows what those are. Here's this was actually a whole Husky set. All these adapters in all my drawers. So this is the flex one to get in tight spots, and they're all wobble. Here's the small one, the 6-inch, I guess, the 12-inch. So I got all those. Of course, I got the swivels for the ratchets, and I got the adapters 3/8 to 1/2 inch here. I got a couple of them there. Then I have some impact sockets back here. Those I showed you. Then I have a whole bunch of my miscellaneous, more sockets and miscellaneous deep sockets back there, and a couple of impact sockets mixed in there. And this is all the Husky 2 spark plug sockets here. Then I got all my, what is this, standard size over here, all my metric size here. And Husky did do the same thing with this set. They gave you all these short 12-point sockets. Then I got all the same ones in 6-point, and then all the deep well sockets are all 6-point with the Husky set. So that was good. I was happy with that. So that's my second drawer, and as you can see, this toolbox is already so packed in here. I can't, it's packed, as you can see, packed. And a lot of people say these Husky drawers ain't that good. Well, mine's been working fine. I've been opening, closing these all the time. As you see, this thing is packed full. I got a couple little spaces of room in here, so it's working for me so far. Now I'm gonna go down to my, let's go down to my 1/2 inch. Here's my 1/2 inch. I got a 1/2 inch ratchet here, 92s, which is not a bad one. I think this was, I got this from Tractor Supply. So this one, that 3/8 one in there, and one of the 1/4 inch ones I have in this drawer, they were all in a pack. I got them at Tractor Supply, pretty cheap. So there's my, that 3/8 one, and here's my big Husky. And I think this is a, I don't know if this is a 72 tooth or a 90 tooth. I think it's a 90 tooth Husky, but I bought this separate, and this one, as you can see there, one's a little longer than the other, which not much, but again, here's my swivel adapter for my 1/2 inch. And what I did was, because I snapped 3 of these, yeah, I snapped 3 of, let me find one. No, that's not it. Okay, where is my 3/8 to, or my 1/2 inch to 3/8? Oh, I probably don't got any in here because I broke them all. But anyways, I had a couple of Cobalt ones like this, and I had a couple of Husky and a Cobalt one. But one day I was trying to take a lug nut. These guys did my rear brakes, my emergency brake on my truck, and they freaking tightened the lug nuts on the back of my truck. I have a Cadillac Escalade, and the guy, I literally broke 3 tools trying to get one of my lug nuts off. So I went and picked up this Husky Impact one. So next time, which I torqued down my lug nuts to what they're supposed to be now. So I probably won't have that problem again. But here's one of the main things I want to go over. If you buy that 200 piece, all these big sockets now from, what is this? This is 1.25 inches. The deep sockets go up to 1 inch. Here's what I didn't like about the Husky set. It's a 200 piece Husky set. It's just all sockets. All your 1/2 inch, short and deep, are all 12-point sockets. Now, everybody knows when you're trying to get lug nuts off or something like that, this is not going to work. If your lug nuts are torqued too hard like mine were, actually, I even cracked a couple of sockets, which I don't even know where they are. Oh, here's one here. When I was trying to take my lug nuts off, if you could see that, this socket is cracked all the way down. I don't know. It's hard to see on my camera, but I cracked that socket. I cracked, and that was actually, this is a cheap freaking Chinese, cheap socket, but still. I cracked that one. That's why I bought this 200 piece Husky set, because I had basically all these little sockets, all these sockets. Don't open all these things at once. I had all these sockets back here, and I had all these little sockets here. I just had them in, I'm going to show you. I had them in this, this is my socket set before. So I had this one drawer right here, this little drawer that I built probably 20 years ago for my other shop, and I just filled it up. I ended up just sticking all sockets in here, so I had to carry this freaking homemade drawer around with all my sockets in it. So I got real tired of that real quick, digging through all them freaking sockets in that drawer, a mess, and trying to find the sizes I need. So that's why I bought the toolbox, bought the socket sets, the ratchets. I bought everything separate because I didn't want one of them blow molded cases with like a 200 sockets or whatever, or 190 piece, whatever they sell. They sell all the different ones for like $99 on sale to $260 or $70, whatever, for like 190 to 200 piece sets. And I didn't want one of those little sets that I had to carry on. I wanted a big toolbox like this to fit all my tools in. And this rolls. I got the handle there. It's got the wheels on it, so I could just roll this right outside to where I need it and be done with it. Alright, so we'll go to my let's go to this drawer. Now, what I had to do is I was just saying about them, about these, as I was saying about these were all 12 points. So, basically, will I use those? Yeah, I'll use those for, light duty stuff where I know the bolt's going to come off easy and I'm not going to strip my bolts or anything like that. I'll use those sockets. But for now, if I got to take off my lug nuts or anything, that's what this case is for. I just went and bought, as you can see, a whole set. These are all metric. I got 24 millimeter. I mean, it skips it, a few sizes, but it's a 24, 22, 21, 19, no 18, 17, no 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, no 9, and an 8, which are basic sizes. And then 1 inch, 7/8, 3/16, 3/4, 11/16, 5/8, 9/16, ½ inch, 7/16, 3/8, and 5/16. And these are all nice, thick 6-point sockets. So now I don't have to worry about breaking sockets when I'm trying to get my lug nuts off and struggling. Now I'll go to my wrench drawer. I'll go back down to that drawer in a minute. But here's all my wrenches. And I've just basically got Husky wrenches here. Regular Husky wrenches. Nothing special. This is a 28 piece on this side of Husky wrenches. Then I have, I know what's where basically. And these are just a set another set I got from Tractor Supply. But they're a little bit longer than the Husky wrenches, and these are metric ones. And then I got the whole set of the Husky gear wrench type ratcheting wrench ends there, and all the stubbies. So this was one whole set. I got this at Home Depot during the Black Friday deals. And then these are other longer, a little bit longer, but these are also these are just cheap ones for Tractor Supply. But another little set of, those are standard ones. But basically I have every size wrench that I'll need to do any work on my vehicles or anything else. So that's all my wrenches there, which are a big mess, and I gotta fix that. I got a little, if you guys have a Ollie's around your area,